Okay, so let's type this out. First, we need to define shift, and it doesn't take any arguments. And then let's start with this first one-liner. If there's no nodes, if it's empty, return undefined. Okay, so down here, we'll just do shift, and we'll check. Again, there's a lot of ways of doing this. If this dot length is 0, if there's no head, it doesn't really matter. Return undefined. Okay. Next, store the current head property in a variable. So I'm going to make a variable, I'll call it current head equals this dot head. This is pointing to, in our case, hello at the beginning. Then we're going to move the head over to be the current head's next node. So we're going to say this dot head equals the current head's dot next. So we've saved this to a variable called current head, and we say this is the old head. Well, now the new head is right here. We take current head dot next and make that the new head. All right, almost there. Then we need to decrement the length by 1. So this dot length minus minus, and then finally return current head, which is technically no longer current head. So you could have also called this old head, removed head, doesn't matter. This is what we took off. And if we test it out, run our code, if I do list.shift, we get hello, which shows the beginning. And if we look at the list now, it's 2 items long. And what's the head? The head is now goodbye. Let's do it one more time. We got goodbye off. Now the head, if we look at the list again, is equal to this. Head and tail are the same thing. I will note though, if we do list.shift one more time, it does give us the right value. And if we look at list, the head is null, the tail isn't null. And that's not really going to be a problem because as soon as we reassign something to the head, as soon as we push something back in, the tail will be reassigned. However, if we wanted to fix that, if we wanted it to be null, we could just add an extra conditional check and just check, right here. If this dot, basically just copy this code. Set tail to be null. Just like that. So if we refresh our code, run it again, list.shift again. All right, now the list has 1 item in it, which is the exclamation point. If we shift one more time and we look at the list, it now is null, null, length is 0. If we try it again, we get undefined. The list is unchanged, the length is still 0. Let's just make sure we can still push something in. Let's push 100 in. We look at the list, head and tail are both 100. Push one more thing in, 1000. Anyway, it's working. All looks good. List.pop gives us 1000. List.shift gives us 100. And list is now empty. Perfect. All right, so that's shift.